You're
Got
on.
it?
Yeah.
Oh,
On mute. You was panicking then, weren't you?
no, I got it all covered, mate. It's well easy.
Yeah, come back, John.
Mute yourself, Jamie. Right then, chaps and ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to walk you through the basics of a turnkey. So we use that terminology within ETG. Typically last year we spent 12 months marketing ourselves as a turnkey provider. So my name's Steve Brown. I'm the sales director at ETG. And rather than introduce myself, I thought I was out in the garden earlier and I walked past my youngest, and with all the uncertainty and everything at the minute, I'm obviously working from home, so my kids get to see what I do all day. So I thought it'd be impressive to see and let them tell you what I currently do in my day-to-day role. So make sure your volumes turned up. It takes for about 5 minutes to run through, but I'll try and cut it short as to what I do on a day-to-day. So this is my youngest, Betsy, telling me what I do. That's it. That's all she said I do. I just talk. I can't hear you, Martin, because you're muted.
Didn't hear anything.
You didn't hear it?
No. Did anyone else? Put your hands up if you didn't hear it.
Brilliant. So anyway, what she says, I talk to Martin all day, which is pretty much sums up our days at the minute. So I'll walk you through ETG and the turnkey experience then. So the terminology turnkey is not an engineering term. Is that in fact can be used for many project-based, whether it purchasing a house, arranging a wedding, or anything. It's the provision of a complete product or service that is ready for immediate use. Okay, that is actually in the dictionary. I'll guarantee 50% of you will go away after this presentation and put that into Google and check that I'm not just making that up. So what do we do to deliver a turnkey? We class it as our cradle to grave, and there's a couple of scenarios that a turnkey could fall into. The most basic one is what we class as our owner buyer then. So the owner of the company will wanting to purchase a machine. He will no doubt have a business partner. It may be his wife. He may want to go along and spend circa £150,000 on a turnkey project from a sales, and he'll have to ask his wife whether he can go and spend that money on an ugly machine tool, not understanding that obviously that's going to generate him a lot of cash. So in terms of what he needs to do to purchase that machine, he's basically convince his wife that it's a sensible move for their business to make. The other end of the spectrum, you have a full turnkey. So this could be a £3 million project. So I'll just play this short video now. This is currently a sale that is going through in Switzerland for us of what we'll be providing up into AES seal. So this is 2 years in the making. Now when this sale is delivered and complete, hopefully by the end of the year with everything that's going on, all the elements that touches that particular sale, all the elements of processes in engineering that touches will all be controlled within that one cell, and that will be the first of any machine tool supplier to be doing that into the UK. You'll see a small graph here, or this is a flow chart then for a company looking to like these larger corporate companies where they would have to be put in for capex expenditure. So they will have to go through all these elements of proving why we need to purchase money, why we need to borrow money, why we need to buy this machine, and all the elements of our business we have to put into this and give provisions as to why they should purchase the machine. You can see the routes it's taken. At any point it can get knocked back because it doesn't pay for the machine or anything else. So both customers, both scenarios are just important as one another. obviously scenario 2 being that it's a very, very expensive project. And scenario 1 being that this customer has had to dip into his own project, his own pocket then to go and purchase a machine. So then it comes to ourselves. Where are these projects, turnkeys and everything taken from? Where do they grow? Where do they start? What you're looking at now is the people. That's the effective sales team. You've got myself in the middle there, heading up the sales team. You've got Dave Charlesworth, James Fowle, Ollie Riley, and John Mannion. These are the guys out knocking on the doors, talking to customers. We've got back office support from Rini and Louise. They currently manage all the leads that come into the office. And then Paul Reeves is our key account manager. So effectively, every turnkey, every order that we taken is handled or comes across the desk of one of those individuals. But that's not where it stops. When we generate this inquiry, quite often and not, and pretty much all of the time now, that drawing down the bottom is a prime example there of a typical engineering drawing that the guys would get handled. What our customers are looking for is to tell them how to machine it. What machine would we put forward? So the individuals that you're looking at there are all of the technical team. So they will work with the sales guys. They will choose a machine. They will help cost the solution, whether it be work holding, automation. They will build all this up into one portfolio, one presentation, and go back with the sales team and present that to the customer. Some projects may go on for months, back and forth, because the customer will have ideas, and we'll have to come back and effectively re-engineer it. So that drawing that you're looking at there is an actual live part now that's been currently machined for the ventilator work. So again, that has been sent in to us. Can we support with a time study, and what type of machine would we put that forward on? And that's what Martin was busy over the weekend, over the Easter break, installing a machine to machine those actual parts. So as a turnkey, cradle to grave, that's what we're capable of. It still doesn't stop there. We're lucky enough to win the order. That moves into our internal sales team. So we have Phil and Donna, again office bound, that will order all of the ancillary equipment. That could be anything from a bar feed to the conveyors, arranging the service engineers, arranging training, and so forth. From there, it goes through our PDI, pre-delivery inspection, where we've got Doz and Ben. They'll sit in there, and everything that Phil and Donna have ordered, they'll fit onto the machines, and then we have our finished turnkey project going out to be delivered to the customer. Important element of it is naturally is the finance. We need to make sure these customers are paying up. We have milestones in against each project that we have to pass off a particular component, and that's why it's crucial that whenever we get to these milestones, that we obviously tick every box to make the easier for these jobs easier for these guys to go and recover the monies. Following on from that, we've now got to go out and physically install these machines out into the field. So we've got some lovely shots there of our service engineering team. So again, they're all responsible for going out, installing all of the new machinery, while also looking after and supporting existing machines. So we've got Bridgeport's machines going back as old as Martin himself, 70, 80 odd years, that we're still supporting today. Naturally, when we've sold a machine, when we've installed it, we can't walk away from it. There's obviously spare parts that we need that will be ordered long term. Again, for spare parts of Bridgeport's, Hardings, Chirons, Nakamura's, and so forth. So you've got Tom and Kieran and James. Now I'm not sure, you can tell I've taken all these snapshots from Bright HR, and James's I got confused with. I don't know whether we've had a typo on his image, whether it's which one we should be using. But anyway, So those guys take care of the spare parts, and then we have our service desk with Jess and Jonathan that obviously take care of all our issues and service questions. So within the sales team, we use an analogy that the sales guy will always sell the first machine. The rest of the company, customer support, the service engineers, sell on the second machine. So that's why it's instrumental, and you'll see that every turnkey that goes through the company is touching every single division. So for those of you who haven't had the benefit of visiting the office, we've got a short video, and it is short. Now keep your eyes peeled, right, because there's some real ninja warrior workers wrapped up in here. So this is the start of Martin again. He's got some little snapshots around the company. So as we walk through, this is upstairs now in the office. So we've made some amendments. Left side, we've got the boardroom. Right side, this is the red hot office. This is where it happens. Look at this guy here, tapping away, steam blowing out his ears. That's Martin Price. He's our operations director. Now we're going to take a step over into the technical office. So the snapshot we're seeing with the drawing with all the guys. This is where all the magic happens. So there's our youngest apprentice, Gordon. So Mr. Nakamura, we put all our time studies through him. So we'll be supporting customers, telling them how long it's going to make a particular part. And we've got Dave who can work on both milling and the turning. We'll take a walk out now. We're working further up into the shop, into the office, sorry. So this is our service desk. So you've got Tom at the end heading up the spare parts. Jess and Donna there, obviously taking the calls as they're coming in. And then a nice snapshot of myself frozen. So that wraps up pretty much every department and where you play your part into delivering a successful turnkey. And 9 times out of 10, they are successful. And that echoes over into ETG Ireland. They carry on the same philosophy, but on a smaller scale, headed up by Jamie. And obviously not forgetting the high 4 link in that any projects that we have go through, all work holding is sourced through Rob, and obviously special fixtures are headed up by the Gary and Darren there and supporting us. With the latest acquisition of HK, I'm sure moving forward we're going to see plenty of projects include their equipment into our cells, and I'm really looking forward to seeing some of them. So once we've all worked together and basically ticked every box, there's only one person left, and that's Mr. Doyle, who I report to. So once we've got all those elements ticked in the box, there's only 2 ways that it can go. We either have Mr. Doyle is happy because we've achieved and I've hit my targets, and as a company we've all hit our targets. But when it doesn't quite go to plan, Mr. Doyle's not very happy, and he likes to pull my ear a little bit and says we should be working a little bit harder. But that said, all in all, that was just to give you all a roundup really of that you may not realise, but every department truly does hit and contribute towards the turnkey solution. So no matter whether it's not a turnkey and it's just a generic sale, every sale touches every department of the business. And therefore we thank you for your contribution to delivering our turnkeys. If you've got any questions, well, you ask the questions, hopefully I'll be able to give you some answers.
First of all, Steve, I'll unmute all so we can give you a clap. I'll mute it all again. Thanks for that, Steve. That was cracking. So I'll open the floor up to the chat side of it. So if you click on the chat, if you've got any questions, just put your name on the side or whatever, and then Steve can pick out anyone who's got any questions. So yeah. Who's going first? Anyone? Tom. Unmute yourself, Tom.
There we go. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah.
got you, mate.
That's quite a long. It seems like quite a lot of people for a turnkey solution to go through.
Yeah.
What's the typical sort, like if you had a relatively easy flowing project, how quickly could you get a solution turned out for a customer, for example?
Right, well, it's a prime example of what we did at the weekend. So if you take Rotec, for example, he came on Monday. It won a load of ventilator work. By Thursday, we got him the order. Friday, we collected the machine. No, Friday, Alex and Martin decommissioned the machine. Saturday, we delivered it. Sunday, we installed it, and today is running. So the quickest we can do is 24 hours.
Mega. Oh, very exciting. Thank you for that.
Okay, mate. You drive the list, Mr. Doyle.
So we've got Ethan next.
Hang on, are you there? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Ethan, my grandson's got a question. I'm looking forward to this one. Go for it,
Good
Ethan.
presentation, Steve, but why have you got no hair?
That's a very good question, Ethan. And do you know what? I had lots of hair before I met your granddad. So your granddad will tell you why I've not got lots of hair.
Give him thumbs up then.
Good lad.
Gareth, you've got a question.
What has been the most complex turnkey delivered to date, and why?
The most complex one. It's not actually been delivered yet. That's the video that I've shown you. That will be a multi-machine robot cell. Within there, we'll be changing work holding. We'll be inspecting parts, washing, deburring. Basically, if you take an engineering company and look through all of their systems and processes, we're putting all of that into one cell. So that's what I touched on when I said that's never been done before. Well, certainly not in UK and Europe that we're aware of, speaking with ABB. So yeah, that's the type of thing as a turnkey provider that's what we take on.
So, sorry, just to elaborate on that a bit more then. So
yeah.
How many technical partners have you had to use to deliver that project?
So the six in all, and it was just as important when we delivered the project to the customer, that we actually delivered our project to our customers, so our suppliers. So we entered this project all together with the same inspiration, the same requirements, and basically what we passed on to our suppliers is what we need to pass on to the customer. So there's six in all.
Thank you.
So you've got a question from Derek O'Connor.
Hi, Steve.
Hello, mate.
Again,
say it slowly, really slow.
Just my question is it expected as the norm that machine tool companies deliver turnkey services these days, or is it more specialty based? Like basically, do other companies provide the same services that ETG provide?
Well, that's a good question. So the majority, I'd say 90% of the machines that go out our door now are turnkey based. Basically, because as it alluded to on slide 2, you know, the turnkey is a unit delivered that's ready to run. As for our competition, some of them do try it, and some of them are quite successful at it. So I would say that there's probably the forefront of turnkey providers. We are, I'd say, one of two.
Okay, that's great. Thanks, buddy. Fair play.
Good question. Anyone else? No?
Cool.
Oh, you got away with that one, Steve.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everyone wants to get back to their Easter eggs.
Yeah. Thanks very much, Steve. That was a corker.
Okay.
So tomorrow we've got what we've done is Rob Waits that was supposed to be today. We've put to the down towards the end of the planned itineraries. So that means Lee Adamson on composites for HK tomorrow. So look forward to seeing you all again same time tomorrow. Thanks again, Steve. Well done.
All right. Okay. All the best.
Thanks,
Bye,
guys.
everyone.
Cheers, everyone.
Well done, mate. Very good.
Bye,
Have
guys.
a good evening.
See you guys.
Bye.
Bye.